but probably not.
All right. So that should be cooking.
Oh, you're going to teach about primitive types?
I am. Okay. So, the starting point is, do you know anything about golf?
Not much.
At all, okay.
But it's not that hard to learn.
Well, so this is the hard part of golf. Not the learning golf, but the... So, there's this thing called handicap.
Yeah.
Do you know what handicap is for golf?
No.
So, handicap is a system for allowing golfers of different skill sets to compete on equal terms. And I'll send you this PowerPoint too afterwards. So that's the point of a handicap. So like for instance, I'm a 6 handicap and I might be playing with somebody who's a 24 handicap. So that means that in order to play with that person on an equal playing field, I have to give them 18 strokes. So when we play golf, they get 1 extra stroke on every single hole.
Yeah.
So if they get a 5, that 5 is actually for a 4. So if I get a 4 and they get a 5, we actually tied that hole. That's the scoop. Okay, so that's how handicap works. Now, when you use handicap, there's several different games. So ways to use handicap. You can do full handicap, where every player gets a number of strokes equal to their handicap. So, for example, if I'm a 6 and I'm playing against a 24, I would get 6 strokes. They would get 24 strokes. And I would get the strokes on the 6 hardest holes on the course. 3 on the hardest holes in the front, 3 on the hardest holes in the back. So when you look at a golf scorecard, it's just a random place. But notice that, so here's the front 9, let's just say, holes 1 through 9. See how it says handicap down here? Mm-hmm. So the hardest hole on this side is this one, where it says 2. So that's the hardest hole. So if I'm a 6 handicap, I would get a stroke here, I would get a stroke here, and I would get a stroke here. I would get 3 strokes on the front 9, and then 3 strokes on the hardest holes on the back. That's where I get my stroke. So every golf course has a set of tees. So here's 3 different tees that you can play: blue tees, white tees, gold tees, and then here's the red tees, so the ladies' tees. So you have a set of tees. Typically, the men's tees up here have the same handicap for all of the holes. They're just different distances. The women's might have their own handicap because it's a significantly shorter hole, and it just might play different level of complexity, I guess. So in any case, so every golf course has a bunch of tees. And for each set of tees, you potentially have its own set of handicaps. And those handicaps are used to determine which holes players get strokes on. So that's if you're playing full handicap. So if I'm a 6 and I'm playing against a 24, I'll get 3 strokes in the front, 3 strokes on the back. The 24 would get 12 on the front, 12 on the back. So he would get 1 stroke in every single hole, and then 2 strokes on the the 3 hardest holes. So that's if you're playing full handicap. If you're playing off the low man, then the low handicap player plays as a 0, and everyone plays relative to that. So if you have a 6 and a 24, I become a 0, where I get no strokes across the whole thing, and the 24 gets 18 strokes. So you see how it adjusts? Mm-hmm. Okay, so now that's how you can use handicap. Now it's a matter of how do you play with handicap. So handicap-based games. For normal stroke play, which just your final score It doesn't matter what's the hardest holes and that kind of stuff. If you're a 10 handicap and you shoot a 90, 90 is an 80. Just subtract the handicap from the thing. It didn't matter which are the hard holes and any of that stuff if it's stroke play. So handicap is easy. Just subtract handicap from final score for all players. Match play. Match play is a you're playing on a hole-to-hole basis. So if we're on hole number 1 and I get a 4 and the guy I'm playing with shoots a 5, but his 5 is for a 4. You got a stroke, let's say. We actually tied that hole. So we're all square. If the next hole I get a 4 and he gets an 8, I won that hole, so I'm 1 up. So when you play match play, you go on a hole-by-hole basis, and at that point, your handicap actually makes a difference. You know, where he gets strokes and where I get strokes and that kind of stuff. So if we're playing the hardest hole, I'm probably going to get a stroke and so will he. He might even get 2 strokes. But if we're playing one of the easier holes, I won't get an extra shot. Well, he will. He'll get at least 1 extra shot. So his 5 might be for a 4, where my 5 would be for a 5, and he would beat me on that hole. So you kind of get what's going on? Okay, so the problem that I'm solving for here, this is each hole is its own game. Keep track of number of holes, 1. So the problem I'm solving for is the situation where you all show up on the first tee. Let's say there's 4 of us. So I just gave you examples with 2 people. And one of the guys is usually the scorekeeper. Or first of all, if you have 4 guys, either 0 or 1 of those guys is likely to understand the handicap system. Like really understand it. Like most guys kind of know, like, oh, I sort of know. But if you ever put them in charge of figuring out handicap, they'd be guessing. Because most people don't understand this part, how that works. It's not that it's hard. It's just something somebody always had somebody else doing it for them. So whenever you play in events at the country club or something, when you play, they hand you a scorecard that already has like little asterisks. You get a stroke here, here, and here, that kind of stuff. So they never actually learn how to do it. But let's say you show up to the first tee with 4 other guys or 3 other guys, and you're going to play a game. Well, you make some decisions. Well, the first 5 or 10 minutes, you're dicking around and doing all this stuff, figuring out where people get strokes and all this stuff. So that's where my software comes in. So what I did is I wrote an iPhone app. Have you ever used storyboards, Joey?
Yeah, I have. At first I didn't like it, but now I think it's pretty neat.
They're like epic, aren't they?
Yeah.
So here's like the storyboards for this app. So if I run,
like show what you did, or
huh?
That?
This is all the screens how they link to each other.
Oh.
So I'll run the app here.
Oh, you failed.
I knew it.
Why did it fail?
Because you're trying to use that parse thing. Except for the parse doc.
Oh, I don't have parse installed on here. Okay. One moment.
Create beautiful apps. How are you done with that already? Did you not savor it at all?
Did you not savor this at all?
What does that even mean?
Sometimes it just comes out.
It says it's right there, so let me just dump that.
It's faulty. I hope you choke out a chunk of
It's alliteration.
I try.
The alliterator. My favorite. VHS.
Oh, it thinks I named it parse 2. Is that the problem?
Clock, clock, clock.
All right.
Top one.
Oh my god.
I think you just destroyed it.
No, I didn't. It's now I need to get
You're
the.
making.
I haven't.
Did it work before? Or
Yeah,
was
but
there,
not
like,
on this
one
machine.
error and
There,
you'd be
no,
like,
no.
"Oh, wait."
It'll be fixed in a second. I hadn't done it on this machine before, so I didn't have a couple of different APIs on here. So I just need to install the Facebook API, and then it'll work.
That's what you think.
It will.
That's what I do.
What kind did you get?
Dreamsicle.
That was orange.
I'm gonna go get another one. And now no one can tell me I should have brought the ones they want. Oh, I had it.
What?
Okay, so then I need to.
Oh yes.
Do you guys have class?
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
time?
in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, it's in 20 minutes.
Okay.
3:10. We're fine.
Usually people round to the.
Yeah.
And then sometimes during like exam week,
What am I doing?
and then they look at you weird when you
Why
walk
is
in.
this one
5
starting
minutes
at
before
3:10 but
time.
my morning one starts at 11:05?
Don't know.
Because
'Cause
before and
they don't
after
know
lunchtime they had like 5 minutes. Like, because
I can't handle this.
like 11:05 to 12:05 is the thing. Or
No, it's not.
what is it?
Huh?
Documents, Facebook SDK.
It's on. I'm listening to the whole thing.
Documents, Facebook SDK. Where is?
Doesn't exist. What? Talking to yourself again?
You'll see.
What is it? What? No.
It's just a stupid thing.
No.
No what?
Why are you obsessed with that?
It's catchy.
Has he been singing this to you?
Yeah. Because his son was sprayed into a man.
Matt's son?
Bouncing baby boy. Holy cow. Is this like an older version of the Facebook SDK? Or is this the newest version? Or
It should be a new version.
this looks different than what I had last time. I guess the one I used last time is probably actually old now. They were updating like every 3 months when I was using it last. It was kind of impressive, kind of annoying.
Well, what's interesting is that the I don't have the dot framework.
Huh. Oh, hey, this is what I was looking
What?
for. Sunhorn line. Is good.
Okay, well, in any case, let me just keep going. So what does the app do? The app lets you keep track of something called Golf Buddies.
Oh,
So Golf Buddies are names of people.
it's like the.
Shut up. I'm trying to show her something in the last couple minutes here. So it's the names of people along with their handicaps. All right, so that stuff all gets stored. So the idea is that when you get to the first tee, you pull out the app, you say, okay, I'm going to create a new game. Here's the 3 other people that are playing this game with me. So you select it. The handicaps are already in there, or you can add new golf buddies. But the idea is that
So it just saves the people.
saves it, yeah. So they're there easily. Then you have golf venues. And a golf venue has a name, a collection of courses, where each course is a 9-hole collection of holes. And then each course, each of those 9-hole collection of courses has a collection of tees, and each collection of tees has a handicap set. So you're going to have, if you have 4 tees, you'll have a venue. So the venue will have a name, and you'll have a course with a tee with 9 handicaps, another course with a tee with 9 handicaps, another course with a tee with 9 handicaps, another course with a tee with 9 handicaps, all just for 4 different sets of tees. Okay, so all these things need to get entered in. So the idea is that you can do this one time. Well, some courses are going to already be there, so you can just search for your course. Other courses, if you're the user and your club you golf at isn't already in there, you have to put that in manually. But for free, you get 1 slot for a course. So you can go through this headache of putting this stuff in only one time, and then it's in there for good. But if you go to a different course and you want to play a different place, you either have to start from scratch, or you buy a secondary slot to put a different course in there. Otherwise, you have to kind of just use your 1 slot to use for all your courses if you want to do it for free. So that's from a user's perspective. So I'm the user. If I already have my course set up in the app, I open up the app, say I'm going to play a game at this course with these 3 guys, go. And it's going to show me where everybody gets strokes, just like instantly. So the idea is that's the problem that the app is solving. So that is from a user's perspective. So now where the website comes in. So the idea of this website is to promote
the app
apps.
is made. I am doing the website,
Correct.
right? Yeah,
Correct. So I just kind of wanted to give you the background of what
Yeah.
the app is doing. So the website's job is to promote the app. Promote app to end users. So the end users is what I just described.
Mhm.
Also, promote app to golf clubs. So they can subscribe and have their course be automatically available within the app. So idea would be like if River Club decided they wanted to pay, it would be a convenience for their members, because I would go in there and rather than having to go through all the rigmarole of putting the course in manually for me, I would just select, oh, I'm playing at River Club.
Yeah.
And it's just there. All the information is there. So it's going to promote that, that clubs can subscribe to that. Allow clubs to subscribe by collecting payment info through a shopping cart and keeping track that their subscription is current. So for subscribed clubs, so if a club has already subscribed, they'll have a manage my venue button or something like that. And this allows them to enter info, give the name of their venue, add/remove courses/tees, update handicap on a per hole basis for each course/tee, etc. So basically manage all that information for their particular course. This venue info needs to sync with parse, where the app pulls data. So the idea is that the country club went in, changed their course information, that would immediately become available to the app next time I opened up the app. Okay, so this is going to be some programming. These last two steps here will be some programming, but it shouldn't be super, super complex programming. Now, the rest of it, more than likely what I'm suggesting. So the technology that you should be using. I'll give you some web space for you to start with.
Okay.
And I can even, I'll also install WordPress initially, because it takes 2 seconds for me to install it through GoDaddy. So you're going to start with WordPress. Have you ever used WordPress before? Do you know what WordPress is?
Not really.
Okay, it's a content management system, CMS. So it's like a website in a box. So most of what you're going to be doing is doing research on how to use WordPress to build out websites. So you'll use WordPress. You'll probably select a shut up. You're not actually. Select a template for the site. So kind of a golfy template, something like that. If you find a good one that costs something, that's fine. Let me know and I'll buy it. If you find, there's plenty of free ones out there too. If you find one that you think is appropriate, but they're like $10 or something like that for the premium ones. So anyways, select a template for the site, and you can even do that through GoDaddy, and it'll just install the template for you. So a lot of what you're going to be doing is IT stuff, where you're taking an existing piece of technology, learning how to use it, how to manage it, and then using that rather than building a lot of stuff from scratch. So the only part you'll really be building from scratch is this manage my venue tab, where they can go in. So those would be a couple of different web forms. You'll probably be doing it in PHP because WordPress is PHP based, and you should be able to find tutorials for some of that. So you use WordPress as the CMS, select a template that's golfy. Then you also want to select a WordPress compatible shopping cart for collecting payment and managing subscriptions. So these are all going to be problems that have already been solved. You just have to find those solutions and install them. Get what I'm saying? Okay, GoDaddy does have a shopping cart, but their shopping cart might not be appropriate for this because they have kind of like,
I know they have one.
yeah, but see, I think their shopping cart is more like, if you're going to sell products online, here's a shopping cart that you can easily do it. Where in this case, they're creating subscriptions and stuff like that. I'm just not sure that, I'm suggesting WordPress. If you find a better solution, that's fine. But I think WordPress is going to be the one that's going to be, the path of least resistance and the one that's most documented.
Yeah.
Because like most new websites use WordPress today. So find a shopping cart that'll allow you to do that subscription stuff and that kind of crap. And then ultimately, when they log in, it knows whether or not they have an active subscription or not, or tells them you have to pay again, or it's an auto renew. Ideally, it would be an auto renew subscription. Maybe it's $100 a year, and every year it just charges them again unless they cancel or something. Okay, so at the high level, does that make decent sense? What I'm asking you to do? Okay, so you're going to be doing the website side, and the only things that really link are going to be these parts. This, the manage my venue thing is going to talk to the same database. But what's nice about that, again, is it uses this technology called parse. Okay, it uses this technology called, it's from parse.com. There's all sorts of tutorials for PHP connected to that. So, make sense?
Yep.
All right, so I'll upload this and send you the link to the video,
Awesome.
and I'll email you the PowerPoint thing too.
Sounds good.
Cool? Does that give you enough to write your idea paper?
I believe it does.
All right, sweet.